What's up, nerds? I made a video a couple weeks ago about the Ebony Warrior that kind of popped off on TikTok. It's at about 100,000 views right now, which I am super excited about. And more specifically, I actually talked about an ebony armored warrior in Morrowind named Gaynor. And if you remember from that video, I actually said that he had started a trend for the Elder Scrolls games. This trend being characters that specifically wear ebony armor and can kick your ass. As for which one we're going to be talking about today, well, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered dropped just a couple weeks ago, so in honor of that, we're going to be talking about our girl Umbra. Which should make it obvious, I am talking about Oblivion's Umbra, because just like the Ebony Warrior, they are also in Morrowind. Except not like the Ebony Warrior, because there is actually an Umbra in Morrowind, but not like actually an Umbra in Morrowind, like technically actually, because it's a different person from who we see in Oblivion. But f that guy in Morrowind, he's easy and he doesn't even wear ebony armor. Oblivion's Umbra, on the other hand, does. Plus, she's a Bosmer, which is the same race as Gaynor. Is that a coincidence? Probably, but it is a true fact nonetheless. Now, the difference between Umbra and Gaynor, or even Ebony Warrior, is that her encounter isn't random. It is leveled, but not in the same way as like Ebony Warriors in Skyrim. You see, for Umbra, the reason that I even say her encounter is leveled is because to actually do it, you have to go to Clavicus Vile's shrine first, which cannot be activated until you're level 20. Now, I know that might contradict literally everything you hear online, because every single content creator is going to give you the exact same metagaming option of just going straight to her once you leave the sewer so you can take her out for the sword. That is 100% possible, but for the purposes of this video and giving a full explanation of the character, we're going to do this the right way. So, like I just said, that starts at level 20 when you will go to Clavicus Vile's shrine. Now, where is Clavicus Vile's shrine? Well, that's going to take a little bit of exploration because no one seems to know. You're not going to hear about it from any sort of quest or rumors or anything. But luckily, people, I found it for you by looking it up on the wiki. It is right here. It is literally up the road from Vindicil. And once you're there, you're going to gift the shrine 500 gold, and Vile will start to explain that he needs someone real strong and tough to go and find a sick sword that he made a long time ago. However, despite the fact that it's literally down the street, Vile has no idea where it is and instead tells you to go talk to a dude at Pell's Gate named Eroke the Wide. But first, he gives you a little dog statue because this guy will take any opportunity to ditch his pet. I say that because especially if you've played Skyrim, you should know who this dog is. And if you don't, you really will when it starts talking to you halfway down the road to Pell's Gate. And if those signs weren't clear enough, it's Barbas. Clearly, it's obviously Barbas. Come on now. And don't worry, Skyrim fans, Barbas is on the same type of shit as always, since he is immediately telling you, hey man, come on now. You're gonna take the super powerful sword made by a demon back to that same demon? What? Why would you do that? But for now, that doesn't matter at all. Literally, you just pretty much cool. I'll keep that in mind, and you two keep pushing it to Pell's Gate. Come on, Barbas. Eroke is waiting for us. Not really. I don't even think he knows we're coming, unless he's a spy for Clavicus Vile. However, once you get there, you're going to talk to Mr. the Wide, and he's going to give you the entire backstory of Umbra, the character, not the sword. He doesn't really seem to know shit about the sword, which is fine. This video is not about awesome weapons, it's about awesome characters. So as for this awesome character, what Eroke basically tells us is that he used to have an apprentice that was a young Bosmer woman named Lenwyn. However, one day Lenwyn apparently just came across this super powerful sword randomly that compelled her heavily to both keep and to use, if you know what I mean. Essentially, her and the sword were on some Gollum and My Precious type shit. So to satiate that, she left her apprenticeship with Eroke and formed her own mercenary gang. But since then, the mercenary gang has supposedly just disappeared, and the last Eroke has heard of Lenwyn, or Umbra as she's taken to calling herself after the sword. She's been hiding out in the Ayleid ruin of Vindicil, which, like, it's obvious what happened here, right? Lenwyn for sure used Umbra to kill her mercenary gang. Am I crazy? Like that has to be it, right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Regardless of what happened to them though, all that matters is where she and the sword are, which we now know is Vindicil. So get your ass up the road and get ready for a fight that makes the Grey Prince look like a female dog that prefers the presence of another female dog. Now, the trek through Vindicil is literally easier than the tutorial sewers. A couple of hallways separating 2 rooms that house a spike trap and a gas trap respectively, and some mud crabs and rats scattered about. Once you make your way through all that, you'll finally reach the room with Umbra, who kind of just stands there and gives you like plenty of chances to leave, and like doesn't really turn hostile unless you fight her or tell her let's fight. I don't know. It feels to me like she's got some pretty good control over these blade compulsions. Huh. I wonder if Clavicus Vile is a liar. That would be quite the twist. I mean, I already said Heroic could be a minion of his. Maybe I was right. That could be why he calls himself the Wide, despite the fact that he is clearly average width at best. He's a liar too. Regardless of all that though, the point of this is to fight this woman. That's a crazy sentence to say, but don't worry, she can take it. That's even crazier. Now, as for why she's so tough, it's a little different than Gaynor in Morrowind. You see, Gaynor does get a boost to his strength, which gives him some pretty good damage, but that isn't the real hard part about him. The intimidating factor to him is his luck. His luck is so high that with Morrowind's combat mechanics, it basically makes it to where you can never hit him and he can never miss you. Not only that, but every hit he lands will also be a critical, and any hit you might possibly land will be its lowest roll of damage. Umbra, on the other hand, is just a stone cold battle hardened warrior set at level 50 with a health of 394. As for everything else, she has quite a few things maxed out to 100, including her strength, speed, and endurance attributes, and all of her combat skills. I don't know what the point of her armorer or blunt or hand-to-hand being 100 is, but regardless, it is. So even without Umbra, she could probably still kick your ass. However, she does have that sword, which is the highest physical damage in like the entire game, with a 13 base at level 1 that maxes out to about a 31 to 33 end of game. Plus, it has the Soul Trap enchantment, which I'm pretty sure does like fuck all for her, but it is a fact. And just like Gaynor, I am sorry to mention this, newbies, but there is more, since the last ability I have to mention is Umbra's Restore, which allows her to restore 2 HP per second while you fight her. And with all that said, a lot of you are probably thinking she sounds pretty easy, which you wouldn't be super wrong. She is easy enough, at least easy enough that everyone uses this as their little early game metagaming secret, like with the I-15 in Fallout New Vegas. Like seriously, of all the Knights of Ebony, that's what I'm going to call them now, I'm done calling them all Ebony Warriors, but with all of the Knights of Ebony, she seriously does feel like the weakest, probably. I mean, she still has 100 less hit points than Gaynor, plus he's abusing the game's mechanics against you. Then as for the Ebony Warrior, I mean, come on, he's just him. There's a reason that man is the titular character for this archetype. He just goes so hard. To be honest, the most compelling part about Umbra isn't the character in Oblivion, it's the sword. If it weren't for her wearing ebony armor and being considered one of the harder enemies, I probably wouldn't have even talked about her. Especially not in this context. Umbra the Blade is by far the more interesting side of this encounter because of its deep roots in the lore, connecting it to Clavicus Vile and the floating city of Umbriel, which is a very odd, interesting piece of lore that I might talk about one day. As for this encounter in Oblivion though, that's really all. Umbra is a fully maxed out warrior, but aside from that and having the highest damaging sword in the game, I'll be real, she's not super difficult. I do stress specifically physical damage with the sword thing because I want to say I personally don't get the hype of this blade. I mean, don't get me wrong, cool sword, cool looking sword, awesome lore, but something like Goldbrand or the Dragon Sword with their flame enchantments feels so much more powerful in combat than Umbra does, even though it has like 3 higher base damage. I don't know though, that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think of Umbra, both the sword and the character in Oblivion, down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, later nerds.